this Land Rover Defender wasn't always like this. After almost 2 decades forgotten, we rescued it and spent an entire year bringing it back to life. What you see now is the result of a year of work, searching for parts, restoration, and hundreds of decisions. Next, we'll tell you everything that has happened, from the accident in Mauritania to turning it into the tribute Defender you see today. My name is Mark's Garage and I'm crazy about cars. This isn't just any project. This Defender was part of a humanitarian mission with Doctors Without Borders in Mauritania in North Africa. It traveled thousands of kilometers facing heat, dust, and desert until an accident left it completely destroyed. It was repatriated to Spain, half disassembled, and ended up forgotten for 19 years in a workshop in Guadalajara. A vehicle with an amazing story nearly scrapped. But we did give it a second chance and set out to restore the life it once had. After a whole year restoring it piece by piece, searching in junkyards, contacting individuals on Wallapop, and thanks to the support of Agos, today I present to you its final chapter. And how did the story begin? 12 months ago, when Mikel and I started this journey. The plan was to arrive around 9 in the morning on Monday to pick up the cheapest Defender in Spain. We're 1 minute away from seeing the cheapest Defender in Spain. The truth is, it was in poor condition, but not much cheaper.
They went on a trip to Mauritania, and during one of the stages, one of the other participants who was with them in the group took it. Some poor inexperienced guy left it in the condition you're seeing now, and that's how they brought it back. In 2005, it was brought back from Mauritania to Spain for restoration, but in the end...
And have you had it? 19 years?
19 years.
Without a doubt, my wife loved the idea.
And what has Mark done? Buying this car for 3,000 euros to restore it more cheaply then. Let's see if you stop wanting to restore cars.
The truth is, I still don't understand why he didn't like it at all when he saw the car in the garage for the first time. How did Javier take it? What?
Oh my God, what have you brought me here for?
A Defender?
Let's see, but what is this? What Defender? What, 8 quarters? This is just a hunk of iron.
But it's the cheapest in Spain and like a Lego. Javier, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, I bet you're happy with what I've brought you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
A few days later, we met to review the project and Javier was already more receptive. We're going to be able to use the bodywork. Javier, right? You can't fix this with just a little.
No, this is aluminum.
And why do I like these Land Rovers so much? In the world of classic vehicle restoration, few brands spark as much interest and passion as Land Rovers. Series or Defenders, without a doubt, are iconic models that have made history in the world of 4x4s, for example, in the Camel Trophy or the Paris-Dakar. They have also won over generations of motor enthusiasts, from adventurers and workers to none other than Agent 007 appearing in countless movies, both series and Defenders, and even with the Queen of England herself. Without a doubt, in 1948, the Wilkes brothers wanted to create an off-road vehicle for everyone, and without knowing it, they succeeded. Production of the Defender continued until 2016. 68 years later, the legend was bid farewell by Land Rover with the creation of a special series, El Guerritos. And for all the fans of this icon of the 4x4 world, we were left with a bad taste in our mouths. Soon we will explain to you what tribute we have in mind for this 4x4 that we love so much. And how we picked its design. From the beginning, we were clear that this project was not going to be a simple restoration. What did we want? To pay tribute to the first Land Rover series from the 1948 model to the Series 2, 2, 3, and 3A? We felt that the 2016 Defender Heritage did not do justice to the legacy, so we decided to create our own version of the tribute. We chose the light green color, directly inspired by Land Rover's classic palette, a shade that became a symbol of the brand's most iconic models. We combined it with white wheels and a white roof, as was traditional in the series models, thus maintaining that timeless spirit. We discussed all of this at length in a special episode, where Uriel and I talked for over an hour about the car's design. You can find the full video at the link in the description. After making sure that starting a new restoration wouldn't be a problem for Yolanda, everything started to fall into place. Javier was willing to help me. I found the mechanical part easy, and with Uriel, our design was already perfectly defined. With everyone's support and the project, of course, now yes, he said. The main thing was to dismantle the damaged body and begin the real transformation work.
Let's look into buying new screws. A few for you, huh?
The truth is, it was all good news.
Well, I'm going up. The fuel is cut off, right? Let's check that they haven't cut the brakes on us. They've cut it here, so we'll replace everything. Look, it's cut and we'll put in all new parts.
Look, there goes the tank. It looks pretty straight, right?
I love it when plans work out well.
This Land Rover you bought that you want to bring back to life and that also belongs to one of our clients, did you buy it from Alejandro from Green and Gold? He told me the other day I was visiting him the other day. He told me, "Oh Mark, I sold him the car." I replied, "Let's see what project we have here. What kind of madness is this?"
It's madness, without a doubt. We need a donor. We're going to buy a Land Rover, a Defender donor, in a small village in Lleida. But when we see it, we're blown away, literally, because it's in worse shape than ours. Yes, that's what I said. We can salvage fewer parts from it than from my last purchase in Guadalajara. So we have no choice but to buy lots and lots of parts. We'll also see how we fix, clean, and paint the chassis. We're cleaning the chassis, it's all dirty, and we have two helpers here. Diego, a family friend, and my mother, who's also here working hard on cleaning the chassis. What do you think? As you can see, it's super dirty with sand, but once the sand is removed, the car and the chassis look not just good, but spectacular. They're perfect. It has a dent here. Once we checked the chassis, we knew what we had to do to my Defender's chassis to make it perfect again. So we started by adjusting it and repairing the rear beam of our Defender. Once it was repaired, we took the chassis out to the yard to clean it so we could better see what other repairs needed to be done. To the chassis. The truth is, it's really good to clean the chassis before finishing the chassis repair, because that's when you realize which body mounts are damaged from the rollover and need a little more attention. Once we're ready to mount the body, everything will be much easier. We keep removing the two engine mounts from the axles, and we also take the opportunity to remove an old weld from the chassis where there should be a step on each side. We try to get all the sand out that it might have. Inside the chassis, we blow out the dust with air and give the whole chassis a light sanding. That would only take us about 8 more hours. In the end, we were finally ready to paint it. First, we would give it a coat with an American paint, one of the best out there for this kind of treatment and car restoration. A company founded in 1920. This paint, once it dries, looks like it's made of hard stone, doesn't it? The next one of the unique features of that paint is that it covers all the pores so it never suffers from rust. If air doesn't get in, rust can't come out. And besides, it gives it a beautiful shine, very similar to factory galvanizing. One of the reasons why we painted it gray and black or two-tone is because we wanted to keep that galvanized look. On the rear beam, once it's mounted, the body will look like this. And which model was chosen? This is the Land Rover Defender 110 with a double cab pickup. It was one of the coolest 4x4s on the planet and the most exclusive Land Rover Defender ever made when it was new. It's so cool that even today in Hollywood movies, this 4x4 is shown as the ultimate icon. And in the United States or in Spain, it can be worth between 120,000 and 65,000 euros depending on the model and the restoration. I always wanted to have a Defender 110 turbo diesel, 5 double cab, but since I have some expensive car projects going on, the only one I could really afford was this one. The truth is, it seemed like the time to buy one of these iconic 4x4 machines had passed for me, because their selling prices nowadays are ridiculous. Or so I thought before I found myself in a WhatsApp group. This beauty, its selling price? The price of a Renault Twingo, so naturally, I went to get it more than 500 kilometers from home. At the moment I bought it, it was the cheapest Land Rover Defender 110 turbo diesel, 5 in the country. But will it still be the cheapest? After today's episode, well, don't leave because we'll see the crazy amount of parts I've bought. Do you want to see what I've bought?
Well, yes.
What it should have been.
An economical thing because it had a lot of parts.
In the end, I have to confess
That it got out of hand for me, a total of
38,000
euros already spent on
the project.
And I still haven't finished. I didn't think it would go up that much money. I hope my wife doesn't see this video because she'll kill me.
When restoring a Defender becomes a test of faith and of your wallet.
We've been buying parts from the scrapyard, and sometimes the parts arrive a little dirty. For example, this gas tank, as you can see here, well, it arrived pretty dirty. And we're getting all the grit out, trying to leave it this clean. Then, when we put it in the car, is this going to look amazing? You'll see. What did you bring me?
This needs to be cleaned.
Oh my, do you see more work? Someone will have to do it?
Then I have to set it up, yeah?
Yeah, you don't clean it anymore.
But I set it up now?
I'll set it up for you nice and clean.
Nice and clean. Okay, let's see. What's wrong with you? I don't have to clean this, right?
You can have all the excitement in the world, prepare the project well, surround yourself with good friends, and have a clear idea of the final design. But when you dive fully into a restoration like this, there's a truth that hits you hard. Every screw matters, every part is homemade, and everything,
Absolutely everything.
costs more than you imagined. Looking for a specific part became a kind of obsession. I knew what I needed, but finding it wasn't always that easy. Sometimes weeks would go by without any real progress, just waiting for that part to show up, that little detail that made all the difference. And in the meantime, the project was put on hold. I'm not going to lie to you, the pressure became noticeable. To lie, right?
Its kneecap, its connecting rod, and its kneecap, which these people from Egas also brought.
From
Egas.
and
Everything
the other. These are second-hand pieces.
very good quality.
We've mixed second-hand, restored, and new pieces. All right, let's get to work. We've still got that whole pile of boxes and things to put the car together in Lego. Well, here you have a game. I don't know if you can see it, the play it has. They say it's within tolerance. Let's just say it was wrong. Why?
To put one in.
To put in a more powerful one, more powerful. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Well, thank you very much to ETC for making a turbo that's simply plug and play. They told me, is it exactly the same, or are you going to have to make any modifications? No, this seems the same, right?
Is it the same? Yes?
Yes.
Here comes a sheet.
Look, see. And here it tells you what's coming. See, up to 200 horses.
It got to a point where I wondered if I was getting myself into something too big. Every week a new transfer would come in. Every day I discovered something else that was also broken, twisted, rotten, or just plain lost. And that's when you start to wonder if it's really worth it. There was a moment, and I'm saying this with complete honesty, when I thought I was going to end up with my bank account at zero. I never imagined that restoring a Defender could be so insanely expensive. I'm not discussing luxuries, just basic parts and pure reconstruction, despite everything, with patience, hard work, and plenty of money. We started to see the shape, to notice that the path, although hard, was the right one. Because in the end, when you love what you do, the sacrifice becomes part of the journey. More than 380 hours invested in this restoration. And let me tell you, it wasn't as easy as I initially thought. One of the biggest difficulties has been finding all the parts, spending many hours in front of the computer, looking at the diagrams and asking the company Egas for help. But what did we do last month? Let's look now. And how was the first startup? We couldn't hear the fuel pump.
We don't want to start it for the first time, but it's not getting any better.
Starts well, right? It's floored, but startup is fine.
You see?
Since the Defender wouldn't start, we focused on installing other parts.
It hasn't gone in here in mine. It's about to.
But After checking nearly everything in the official manuals and using the onboard diagnostics, are you still unable to find a solution? I called my friend Manel, who has a Defender 110 turbo diesel, 5 like mine, to check that everything in our car was installed correctly. Would everything be fine, or would we find a big mistake?
But look, he turns the key and it starts, huh, Javier?
And what did we do with all those body parts we bought?
Yeah, this one still needs a little bit of perfecting here, but well, first we sand it, and here too, this corner, you see? And this one here too, we sand here. And then, because we have to prime it again, we do that. But first we have to sand it and make it smooth. What really turned out well for you is the front part, huh?
And besides the doors, we also picked up and brought to the shop the bed, the pickup part ready to install on our Land Rover Defender Tribute.
We're leaving the oil residue here for you to see, then we'll clean it. Look at the amount of oil inside the engine control unit area that controls the injectors. It drips and gets in here. What this means is that inside this engine control unit, it's completely filled with oil, so it's already been opened. I think it was opened before, because I see it has this rubber here. So we're going to have to open it and clean it, because if we don't, it won't work. Then, the next step will be to remove these 13 screws here that are around this cover. And then change the connector rail for the injectors and put on a new cover. It's a rail with all the new connectors, and this is the connector it has. Normally, it's the main cause of the problem with this skeleton door. One of the interesting things, and something I recommend, is how the oil gets in through here, inside this connector. Do you see here that there's a small gap between the plastic and the plastic? Well, even if it seems a bit silly to you, it's good to put some glue on it without touching the pins, but this way you can protect it so nothing can get in again. Oil on the engine control unit. It's full of oil. Inside here. The new connectors, the new rail, the connectors.
Do you think cleaning the engine control unit, wiring, and a new rail will solve the problem of why my Land Rover Defender won't start? Well, once we check all the fuses and relays, we'll try again. So don't go too far. Well, the truth is that all the work we did didn't bring us the reward we expected. But next week we'll bring in a car electrician to check everything. Maybe we're missing something, but since there's still a lot of work left to assemble this Defender, we'll keep going to see how the Defender turns out. Now with its double cable roof.
With the saw. Okay, we're missing some screws.
After 9 months of effort, we've hit a wall. We've spent 3 months trying to get it up and running without success. Is this the
end of the project? After 9 months of work, 3 months trying to get it started, today I have to admit defeat. We've done everything we could. We checked every wire, every connection.
every part? I looked for the problem over and over again, changed components, tried solutions, listened to advice, but nothing has worked, and now I have to make a decision I never wanted to make.
We've been working on this project for 9 months, and the last 3 have been hell. But the car won't start. Without a doubt. Today I have to make a decision. I never thought I would have to make a decision like this, especially when I started the project with so much excitement and enthusiasm. And every weekend, during these 9 months, Saturdays and most Sundays, we have been working. I give up. We can't take it anymore. We can't fix it. Take care of it for me.
We're going to see if this time it starts and works well.
Well, let's see if Mikel
Gets inspired. I think he will.
Bye.
After 3 months of giving it our all and spending more than 2,000 euros on new parts trying to start this Defender, I had to face reality. Or the illusion that we had the car. It just didn't want to come back to life. And look, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's not that Javier isn't trying, nor is it a reproach to my friends, collaborators, or myself. In fact, we all gave our best, spending unseen afternoons, weekends, countless hours, repeating checks, changing components, and taking apart half the car. More times than I can count, and still nothing. The Defender remains silent. So when? With some frustration, but also with humility, we decided that we needed outside help. I had heard great things about a specialized workshop, Dynasty, with a good reputation and real experience in this kind of deep restorations. So, with my heart torn between excitement and resignation, I took the car to them. Because sometimes admitting that you need help is also part of the journey. And the story, the one that would come after crossing the door of that workshop, was going to change everything.
Very good, huh? You guys are awesome, huh?
Come in.
Hello, I have it here. Now they'll explain to us. All right. Congratulations, huh? Thank you.
How are you? How's it going?
I was so excited. You can't even imagine. Yeah. I really couldn't believe it.
Given our current work situation, they unloaded it for us at the other warehouse to leave for a few days since we're busy. The guy who brought it, Juanjo, I think he lied.
No, yes.
Juanjo told us, believe me, Mark feels discouraged and has lost motivation to work on the car, so we encouraged him to try, even if only for half an hour.
Yeah, 3 months trying to start it. It's been really tough. 3 mechanics, 2 electricians. We've checked everything from hello. We've checked, from relays. We sent the control unit. They checked it all. The immobilizer. We've changed the injector rail, the immobilizer, and the thing with the key. You know?
Yeah.
We changed the filters and the connectors of the pump, where the diesel filter is. We changed the crankshaft sensor.
Everything except the ABC. We did it all, honestly.
What happened to it? Explain, because I'm sure.
You want to know what was wrong with it?
With my car?
They say the sin, but not the sinner?
We are the sinners, right?
The sinner, yes. Exactly. Look, when you put the key in and turned the ignition, it was obvious that both the impact sensor and the immobilizer were involved. That was fine.
Because we also checked the pump. Exactly. Those are the first things we check, the pump.
If you listen closely...
Yeah, it was making a strange noise.
It was making a strange noise. First, check if it's the owner's issue. Maybe they used the wrong fuel, but I decided that wasn't the case. But it's happened to all of us, you know, taking apart the whole car, and in the end, I just forgot to put in diesel.
No, the tank too.
But we quickly saw that it was working. We went straight to the diesel inlet pipe on the engine, just as it comes from the tank. And there we saw that it was dry, and that someone had put a one-way valve on it. I don't know if you noticed that, right? And it was dry on both sides of the valve, which means the valve must be working, and we blew into it, but it doesn't reach that far. And then we went to the diesel filter, because it's very easy. It has 2 inlets, 2 outlets, and the system is complicated. I don't know if you want to put it on the screen later or something, but the system is not a pump. A tube goes to the filter, the engine returns, and that's it. But there are several things, and there we changed both tubes. It's an inlet, let's say, because the magic of Land Rovers and Range Rovers and English junk is that everything is interchangeable. If it were German, the diameters would differ. You can't mess these up, right? And then the pump started to sound good, and you go, oh, careful. It sounded good, but it wouldn't start. And we saw that what it was doing was giving pressure to the return instead of the inlet. It gets tricky because the gas tank has a fuel gauge and pump unit like a modern car with 4 hoses connected.
Yeah, I know, well...
The 4 hoses, I
helped install them to put them in?
Well, from memory, there's black, red, green, white. I think, yes, the green and the white were switched.
White is the one I had my doubts about, and I told him, well, do you remember? Yes, you told me I told that white guy this. I don't think it's connected right, since one arrow points this way and the other points forward. Well, and there are a couple of, and I say, shouldn't both of them go in the same direction?
In all his British brilliance, the tubes have colors. You say awesome, but the gauge doesn't have colors.
And you don't know which one you have to use?
We looked for the diagram, and if all else fails, just go for it, knowing that you didn't know what you had done, but you had done something to it.
It's better not to explain exactly.
We usually gather information, but sometimes the client or worker doesn't remember, so we have to start from scratch.
Everything is documented in videos?
I've seen the latest one. Honestly, we changed it. When you turn the key, these take about 20 to 30 seconds to purge. It started coughing, and we thought, that's it, we've got it. We'll send you the video or post it on Instagram. That was the very first start.
Today I came to explain to this gentleman what we had done, to give him a few clues to try to solve the problem a bit faster. You know? He didn't even give me 24 hours. 15 minutes later he tells me to call the tow truck guy to come back, well...
Well.
Today is a surprise for me. Not picking up the car, but that my wife told me she wanted to come pick up the car with me. I couldn't even believe it. So let's see now, up to here. We're already on our way. Goodbye. This is the first time you've asked me to pick up a car with you. How is this? Just out of curiosity, what has your man been doing during this almost year that you haven't seen him on the weekends? Isn't it this? Yes. Let's go look for this Land Rover. Let's see what adventure awaits us. Whether I put the suitcases in or not, well, I think you're gonna like it when you see it. It's not finished yet. Go. More, Haha. Isn't that the best 50,000 euros ever spent?
Well, don't be so sure, huh? But anyway.
Let's go. And here we go. The car, well, it makes a lot of noises now because you have everything inside completely disassembled and not tightened, and it makes noises everywhere, but mechanically the car runs spectacularly.
It was about time, huh? Damn, Mia. Watch out, someone's about to get out of the car. We still have to completely transform the interior of the Defender we rescued from Mauritania. From an empty bare space, we moved to a luxurious cabin. Mercedes seats modified to fit the Defender, fully covered with Dynabat and insulation to reduce noise. Floors lined with carpet and leather, doors upholstered in genuine leather with green thread stitching, and an Alcantara roof as the finishing touch. Custom embroidery that makes this car a true tribute to its history. This is how this incredible project will come to a close, so don't miss it. A customization on another level. In this series, there's a special episode that's almost an hour long, where we show you step by step the impressive transformation of the interior of this Defender. One of the biggest challenges was adapting the seats from the Mercedes Classe R to the original Defender structure. It wasn't just a matter of taking out and putting in. We had to measure down to the millimeter, modify the original bases, cut, adjust, weld, everything with a lot of precision and patience. The result? Seats that look like they came straight from the factory, but from a luxury factory. All of this was possible thanks to the talent, experience, and skilled hands. Incredible work by Javier, who did an impeccable job. But we didn't stop there. We wanted the interior to live up to the story we were telling, so we gave it a premium finish without losing the essence of the car. We upholstered the entire interior in high-quality leather, installed a custom-made carpet, and finished it off with an Alcantara headliner, which completely transformed the atmosphere of the cabin. That work was done by David, my trusted upholsterer, who once again worked magic with his hands. His dedication and attention to detail turned this Defender into something unique, with the soul of a classic and the heart of a high-end car.
And this fit well, it's not missing on the sides. To achieve this, you have to take a measuring tape. The key is to look at it from this front profile. So there you can already see the straight line, which is what will align with the ball.
With the shape. Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. If it's not, yes. Now you remind me, you say, look.
I've done it with the same system.
Look now. Looking from the side, it appears one way, but from the front, it looks different, just a straight curve. Now you'll understand why I said it's better to wait for me to cut it. Well, let's see if it works, let's see if it's true. Come on, let's go, let's see if it's true. The moment of truth. Let's see, paint here. And yes, sir, this is already custom made. Go for it. There, now we just need to finish touching up the other side. But you see, yes, it's not like that. It fits right there. How nice, right?
Also, it turned out well.
Now, since we're making use of this from the previous roof, we'll have to fine-tune this cut here.
Yes, we have to make the slope. It's a bit strange.
Also, it already goes beyond the roof here, but as we go along, it's interesting making the cut, this joint, the joint in the center, at the top and the sides. Well, it's coming together for us.
It's very long. Are you ready to see how the Defender Tribute turned out in detail? The exterior of this Land Rover Defender is designed as a tribute to classic Land Rovers, to those series that cross deserts and mountains with an unmistakable look. The entire body is painted in that light green so characteristic of the series, a color that not only looks spectacular on it, but also connects directly with Land Rover's heritage. To complete the set, cream white wheels were chosen and the roof was painted to match, as was tradition in the brand's most iconic models. It's a clear nod to the past, but adapted with everything we've learned in the present. The galvanized details elevate the whole set even more. The front bumper is made with a durable galvanization and that authentic rough touch that we like so much. In the rear, that same line is maintained. Galvanized rear door, galvanized corners, all aiming for durability. Yes, but also personality. And, to top it off, a custom logo that identifies this project as what it truly is, unique. It's not just any restoration, it's a custom-made vehicle, piece by piece, with taste, respect for history, and a lot of passion for the details. This Defender is not just a car, it's a statement of intent. Few Defenders can boast an interior like this. In here, every corner is designed to combine comfort, elegance, and respect for the past. The beige leather seats come from a Mercedes R-Class, carefully adapted in this Defender. But we didn't stop there. We personalized them with a special engraving on the backrest, the logo of this project. This unique tribute is thus forever sealed in the heart of the vehicle. The doors are upholstered in leather, and as a nod to the exterior, they were stitched with light green threads, the same shade that covers the bodywork. These are small details that make the difference. The front central cubibox and the rear cubibox were also hand upholstered in beige leather with green stitching, maintaining the harmony of the whole. Besides being practical, they add a strong presence that fits seamlessly into the interior and exterior design. The floor is covered by a custom-made wool carpet that extends into every corner, and it is finished with beige leather edges. In the corners, the finishing touch is the Defender Tributo logo, also embossed on the leather, as if every part of the interior tells a story. And if we look up, we find a completely new Alcantara roof, which not only adds visual and tactile quality, but also helps create a much cozier atmosphere, like in a high-end car. Of course, before covering everything, we did a thorough soundproofing job. Floor doors, ceiling corners, everything was treated with the best available Inamat products, multi-layered material, and high-end acoustic insulators to make this Defender feel completely new, more refined, comfortable, and quiet. The engine is the original turbo diesel, 2.5 liters and 5 cylinders with 10 valves, exactly the one that belongs to this 2001 model. It received a full service, timing chain replacement, inspection of rails and injectors, replacement of hoses, gaskets, and much more. The only modification compared to the stock engine is an ATC turbocharger, which increases the power up to 200 horsepower compared to the original 126 horsepower. Soundproofing test. One of the most difficult things was soundproofing this Defender. What I wanted was a car that didn't make a lot of noise, a car that could be driven every day. So soundproofing was a very important issue for me. We used two different products, one based on a special material for soundproofing and the other Dynamat, which not only soundproofs but also eliminates vibrations. With these two products, that's what we did to cover the entire vehicle, including the roof, the doors, the floor, and everything under the gearbox. So let's do the decibel test to see if all this work really paid off. But has it been worth it to answer that question? We did a real test. We measured the decibels inside the car before installing the soundproofing products, and the result was 107.2 decibels. And now, after finishing the restoration, always on the same road between Manresa and Terrassa, using 4th and 5th gear at a constant speed between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour. With the windows closed, no music or air conditioning, everything the same except for one thing, the new insulation. And the result we got from the test was simply amazing. Now it no longer sounds like an old tractor, but like a refined classic. 86.2 decibels was the result. My name is Mark's Garage, and I'm crazy about cars.
I think after this restoration, I'm going to restore a 132 or a Maserati Biturbo, since both are very special cars.
Take
advantage of everything. There's like a pig, Javier. A Land Rover Defender is like a pig. Not that Javier is like a pig, but the Defender